Many of you have seen this, and yet, what you're actually looking at is the original. This is the knockoff. Sergeant Bilko ran 4 seasons. Top Cat ran just 1. Bilko had a primetime TV star. Top Cat had a cheaper cartoon remake of the same racket. And yet today, globally, more people know the cartoon than the hit that built it. And that's the whole story in 30 seconds. A 1-season primetime flop that somehow outlived the smash that it was copying. So I've watched Top Cat countless times, and I've watched it on this original DVD, and when other series got restored, it was always kind of depressing going from a newly restored high-definition print to something that wasn't the worst, but improvements definitely could have been made. And One Archive had recently put out the entire run on Blu-ray from a new 4K scan of the original 35mm negatives. So if you're going to dig into why this alley still matters, this is the set to do it on. Also, keep your old DVDs and I'll tell you why in a moment. To understand Top Cat, you have to understand what Hanna-Barbera were already doing at the turn of the decade. The Flintstones had proven you could take a familiar adult sitcom shape, in that case the Honeymooners, and run it as a primetime cartoon. So William Hanna and Joseph Barbera went looking for the next template. They landed on The Phil Silvers Show, better known as Sergeant Bilko. And Hanna-Barbera, they actually hired Bilko writers, Barry Blitzer, Harvey Bullock. Those names actually write a big chunk of the Top Cat episodes. Arnold Stang voices TC as a spot-on Phil Silvers impression.
No, sir, I'll admit, it is a roulette wheel, sir, but I was teaching the men battle tactics in the round. The little white ball represents...
Save your breath, Bilko.
Oh, hiya, Dibble. Here's a call for you. Part of my personal services to a great guy. I hope you appreciate it.
Give me that phone.
In fact, at first he was so good that the sponsors actually told him to tone it down a little bit. Anne-Maurice Gosfield, who actually played Private Doberman on Bilko, is cast as Benny the Bull. So this isn't inspired by in some loose marketing. This is an animated Bilko unit dropped into a New York alley. The same hierarchy, the same schemes, the same authority figure to outmaneuver, Officer Dibble standing in for the brass Bilko used to work around. The difference is the medium, and the slot that they ended up getting stuck in. Top Cat debuts on ABC in September of 1961, Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m, and that is not a friendly neighborhood. Facing them, The Joey Bishop Show on NBC, and Checkmate on CBS, a hit detective show. Call it what it is, a death slot. And the audience never fully met in the middle. For adults settling in for primetime, the concept got repetitive fast. For kids, the dialogue-heavy sitcom timing was a little dry for what cartoon comedy usually delivered. So after 30 episodes, 1 season, it's gone from primetime. From ABC's chair in 1962, this looks like a misfire next to what the Flintstones was doing. But here's where the story gets interesting. Cancellation isn't the end of an animated property in this era. Syndication and Saturday morning reruns are what saved Top Cat, among other shows which we'll eventually get to on this series. Internationally, it doesn't just survive, it actually grows. In the UK, it briefly runs as Boss Cat, because Top Cat collided with the brand name over there. In Latin America, it becomes Don Gato. And side note, I love the name Don Gato. I don't know, just something about that name.
Qué buen amigo eres, Don Gato. ¿Qué tengo que hacer? Ponte estos guantes. ¿Guantes de box? Eso es, son tus herramientas de trabajo. ¿Qué quieres decir, Don Gato?
If you've ever wondered why Top Cat feels bigger than a 1-season American primetime cartoon, this is why. The alley travelled much further than the Bilko barracks ever did. And proof of how sticky the brand stayed. 1988. TC gets a feature-length TV movie, Top Cat and the Beverly Hills Cats, as part of the Hanna-Barbera Superstars 10 series.
The end to the story of the cat plutocrat.
Finds penny flat bro, simple as that.
And that's the same VIP lane as Yogi, the Flintstones, Scooby-Doo. A 1-season wonder does not get that invitation unless the reruns already did the heavy lifting. Before we dig into the discs, I'm going to go through 3 episodes that show why these Bilko writers were worth the hire, and why the Blu-ray is the right way to watch them. So first one, the $1 Million Derby. Benny buys a horse to take photos with kids, but TC figures out the animal runs like the wind whenever he hears a loud noise.
Whoa there, horsey. Whoa!
Hang on to him, Benny. Hang on, hang on.
so you've got a classic racing hustle here. TC ends up disguising himself as an Arabian oil king just to get the horse entered into the $1 Million Derby. It is pure Bilko energy operating on cartoon physics.
Okay, let's get this. Smile pretty. Now, one of the horse.
You mean Arabelle, imprudent one.
Sorry, Your Highness. Okay, Arabelle, say cheese.
Number 2. All That Jazz. A smooth-talking new cat named Jazz moves into the neighborhood and immediately starts taking over TC's rackets, his pool hall, and even steals his girlfriend.
Look, pal, it's you who don't get it. Me and the chick have a regular thing going. Get me?
I'm sorry, chum, that's all over. I'm in, you're out. There's your posies and your candy. The box, that is.
It sparks a hilarious territory and prank war, which escalates to TC trying to trick Jazz into flying off to a fake country called Diamond Body to mine for diamonds.
I better get rid of this paper airplane. He might think I'm some kind of a nut or something.
And 3. A visit from Mother. Benny's mother comes to visit from out of town. The problem? She genuinely believes her dim-witted son is the mayor of New York City. So, TC and the gang have to stage a massive city-wide charade, even roping in the actual police force to keep the lie alive. That is a 22-minute commitment to a bit, and it lands completely because the character writing is strong enough to carry it.
Benjamin, my, how you've grown. I know you anywhere.
Mrs. Ball, you've made a slight error. Put me down.
Oh, mercy me. I can't see a thing with my specs either.
Also, keep all that jazz in mind. We're going to come back to it in just a moment, because there is something about this set when it comes to that entry. That 2004 DVD, so that's one that I've still got the very first printing of, with that beautiful acetate cover, which I'm still keeping, by the way, and not just for the reasons I'm about to get into. But it was definitely a very standard era release. So you got muddy colors, you had some bad interlacing, some macro blocking, and the opening and closing credits, for some reason, they look like they come from some VHS. Like, it was definitely rough looking. But the fact that the writing was so strong in this show and was so entertaining, you were able to at least overlook that. We always knew that it could look better, and this Blu-ray certainly proves that point. But from the Warner Archive, these are brand new 4K scans from the original 35mm camera negatives. And what that buys you is a natural layer of film grain, and so there's no aggressive digital video noise reduction here. For the audio, we've just got your standard English 2.0 mono, which is good enough for this kind of show. There's no need to go the ridiculous mile of adding this to Atmos or anything like that. But it sounds great for what it is. And they've even added the original Kellogg's sponsor tag back into the taxi cab window during the opening credits. Because Kellogg's was a major sponsor at the time. They did the sponsorship of the Huckleberry Hound show, for example. That's why you see in those openings Cornelius the Rooster. So if you collect classic TV animation and want the alley to look like film again instead of a compressed DVD master, this is definitely the jump. It's a massive upgrade. It's also not perfect. So I mentioned all that jazz. So there's some missing footage and audio. So there's a short snippet of dialogue and picture is gone from the master. The scene skips slightly versus the DVD.
They work like a jumbo. Listen to him.
In a fast jet, I might beat old Jazz to Diamond yet.
They work like a jumbo. Listen to him.
All right, you guys, we gotta move fast. Benny, Choo-Choo, get me some mosquito nets. Spook, Fancy, check the airport. Brain?
Yeah, I know. Back your bag.
Glad you're paying attention. Now blur, boys, blur. In a fast jet, I might beat old Jazz to Diamond yet.
For 99% of casual watchers, you may not even notice these things or even care. But if you're a completionist and if you're buying a complete series set, and that might be you want both editions until there's a corrected pressing, if that ever did come to pass. I'm still wanting to mention these flaws just so at least you are aware of them. And honestly, it's still worth buying despite that. Now, if you're picking up a physical media release like this, you might want to know what's on the disc beyond just the episodes. The great news is that Warner Archive carried over virtually all the legacy bonus features from that original 2004 DVD set. First up, we get 3 audio commentary tracks across 3 episodes: Hawaii, Here We Come, A Visit from Mother, and The Late TC. All wonderful episodes. And these feature a stellar panel of animation historians, so Jerry Beck, the late Earl Kress, and Mark Evanier, and joined by Leo DeLion, who voiced both Spook and Brain on the show. They are packed with incredible trivia about Hanna-Barbera's early primetime push. But beyond those tracks, you also get some other fantastic legacy featurettes. Back to Hoagie's Alley, the making of Top Cat, so you get a nice 17-minute retrospective hosted by Leo DeLion himself, detailing the studio history and voice casting. Cool Cats in Interview Alley, so that's a 21-minute goldmine featuring original interviews with Marvin Kaplan, Leo DeLion, and Barry Blitzer, all of whom have actually passed since. Original interviews with Arnold Stang. Storyboard showcase, so you get a 20-minute side-by-side pitchboard comparison for the episode The Missing Hair. And to top it off, there's also a 7-minute gallery of original sketches, backgrounds, character model sheets, a short theme song sing-along, and 3 minutes of vintage Kellogg's Cornflakes commercials featuring TC and the gang. So it's a very comprehensive package, even if they didn't create any new featurettes, but that's pretty much par for course with Warner Archive. They usually don't create anything new in terms of bonus features, but still, at least you're getting everything in one complete package. So where does that leave Top Cat? It's a show that's built as a deliberate cartoon Bilko. It was in a primetime death slot, 1 season, but then you had syndication, Saturday mornings, Boss Cat, Don Gato, an 88 movie next to the HB Mountains, and it's all led to this beautiful 4K negative Blu-ray that finally matches the cultural weight the reruns have earned. The knockoff outlasted the original, not because Bilko wasn't good. It was a genuine hit, and if you haven't seen it, definitely check out a few episodes. But as for the set, this is the definitive presentation of the series, despite those quality control issues. And those 3 episodes I mentioned, if you want the full Bilko experience, definitely give those a watch first. But honestly, all the episodes are pretty solid. I recently rewatched all the episodes, and honestly, there wasn't a dud in the bunch. They're all really strong episodes, and it's a shame we didn't see any more. But it is what it is. But that's going to do it for this one, and I'm going to take a look at the other Hanna-Barbera animated TV shows, and since so many of them have come out, I'm going to do it more or less in chronological order from their original release on television. So we're definitely going to have the Jetsons and Johnny Quest come up next. So if you want to see those when they come out, make sure you subscribe. But until next time, guys, take care.
This is the story of a feline plutocrat and how he became the world's richest cat.